Hello students, in the part first of the chapter local government, I have explained you need of local government, growth of local government and local government in independent India. Now I am going to discuss about the 73rd amendment in detail. Earlier I told you the 73rd amendment is related to Panchayati Raj system. All states now have a uniform three-tier Panchayati Raj structure. At the base is the Gram Panchayat. A Gram Panchayat covers a village or group of villages. The intermediary level is the Mandal, also referred to as block or taluka. These bodies are called Mandal or Taluka Panchayats. But the intermediary level body need not be constituted in smaller states. And at the apex is the Jila Parishad covering the entire rural area of the district. And the amendment also made a provision for the mandatory creation of the Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha would comprise of all the adult persons 18 years or above registered as voters in the Panchayat area. Its role and functions are decided by the state legislation. Gram Sabha is the example of direct election as in ancient time in Greece. People sit together in village and discuss the matters of the village. Gram Sabha votes for election in Gram Panchayats. Total 5 members will be in Gram Panchayat and 1 Sarpanch. And the total member can be 5 to 30 members. Now we will discuss about the election of Panchayati Raj institution. So here students, all the 3 levels of Panchayati Raj institutions are elected directly by the people of Gram Sabha. And the term of each Panchayat body is 5 years. If the state government dissolves the Panchayat before the end of its 5-year term, fresh elections must be held within 6 months of such dissolution. 1/3 positions in all Panchayat institutions are reserved for women, and reservation for SC and ST are in proportion of their population. And if state find it necessary, that can also provide reservation for the other backward classes. And the reservation not only apply for ordinary members in panchayats but also to the positions of chairperson or adhyaksha at all the 3 levels. Further, reservation of 1/3 of the seats for women is not merely in the general category of seats but also within the seats reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and backward caste. This means that a seat may be reserved simultaneously for a woman candidate and one belonging to the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. Thus, a Sarpanch would have to be a Dalit woman or an Adivasi woman. Now, I am going to tell you about the transfer of subjects. 29 subjects which were earlier in the state list of subjects are identified and listed in the 11th schedule of the Constitution. These subjects are to be transferred to the Panchayati Raj institution. And these subjects were mostly linked to development and welfare functions at the local level. The actual transfer of these functions depends upon the state legislation. Each state decides how many of these 29 subjects would be transferred to the local bodies. And some subjects listed in the 11th schedule are agriculture or irrigation, water management, roads, drinking water, etc. But the provisions of the 73rd Amendment were not made applicable to the areas inhabited by the Adivasi population in many states of India. In 1996, a separate act was passed extending the provisions of the Panchayati Raj system to these areas. And many Adivasi communities have their traditional customs of managing common resources such as forest and small water reservoirs. Therefore, the new Act 1996 protects the rights of these communities to manage their resources in ways acceptable to them. For this purpose, more powers are given to the Gram Sabhas of these areas, and elected village panchayats have to get the consent of the Gram Sabha in many respects. And the idea behind this act is that local traditions of self-government should be protected while introducing modern elected bodies. And this is only consistent with the spirit of diversity and decentralization. Now we will discuss about the State Election Commission. The state government is required to appoint a state election commissioner who would be responsible for conducting elections to the Panchayati Raj institution. Earlier, this task was performed by the state administration, which was under the control of the state government. Now the office of the State Election Commissioner is autonomous like the Election Commissioner of India. However, the State Election Commissioner is an independent officer and is not linked to, nor is this officer under the control of the Election Commission of India. Next is State Finance Commission. The state government is also required to appoint a State Finance Commission once in 5 years. This commission will examine the financial positions of the local governments in states. It would also review the distribution of revenues between the state and local government on the one hand and between rural and urban local government on the other. This innovation ensures that allocation of funds to the rural local governments will not be a political matter. In next part, I will explain you about the 74th Amendment.